Good morning and bonjour to everybody watching this little morning show here. We are at the third day at Printing United in Atlanta, and I have the pleasure to welcome Andy
Thanks for having me, Morten.
and Volker.
Hey Morten,
Good
to see you again.
So let's jump directly into it. How has Printing United been for you guys?
I mean, it's been great. It's a continuation of how it was like good old days in Las Vegas. It's good old days in Atlanta. Good traffic, high quality traffic, and machines ran extremely well. So very, very impressed.
And I mean, you're the head of Müller Martini North American operation,
That's
right?
correct,
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, how fun is it to run a Swiss company in North America?
Extremely fun. Probably more fun than most people think. You know, the Swiss are, so I've been here 29 years. I wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't fun for 29 years.
That's true.
I'm honored and humbled the opportunity they've given me to drive this great organization. And the proof has been the relationships with Volker and the team and Bruno and Rudy. And so I'm very impressed and very happy to be here.
It's funny, I will ask you the same question in a second, how it was Americans, but I remember when you and I, we did a webinar some months ago,
Yes.
almost a year ago, I think.
Yeah, it was here.
And that was fun because I mean, we spoke also to some of your customers, and it just seems that appreciation is the word that comes to mind talking about Müller Martini customers, right?
You know, we're not a sales agency, even though by definition you'd say that. We're more than that. We do service and parts. We're a complete solution provider agency. And when it was King Printing, Adi Chennai, we had a great interview. He just was really, made a lot of statements in that regard. And that's important to us, to know that once we sell a machine, we're there for the long haul. That's really important for us.
And Volker, how fun is it to have an American entity?
Well, it's great because a lot of our solutions have been initially developed and pushed by the Americans, because they are so much advanced when it came to digital transformation. And if you think of the Sigma line, that was predominantly pushed by Andy and his team, because the clients, the publishers wanted actually to get rid of the warehousing. That's how it all started. 20 years ago already.
But it must be quite amazing because I mean we have like 7,000 kilometers, 4,000 miles between us, and internet, but also the willing to work together is maybe the driving force, right? I mean,
Absolutely, absolutely. It works nice. And I mean, these days with the new ways of communicating, it has been so much easier.
Yeah.
But it also worked very nicely in the past.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I think that all of us also realize that it's also a human thing, right? If you have the right people and the right chemistry, before we turn on the camera, we had a lot of fun as well, right?
Of course.
We can joke and have the human side of the business, which I think a lot of people appreciate from the industry, right? I mean, how is that in working in Müller Martini, not just between you guys, but how do you encourage the human side of working together?
Well, I think it starts from the top. As you know, we are a family-owned business. We are very close, and that makes a very large difference. If you would talk to the service techs here, how proud they are working with Müller. I mean, that's just heartwarming. And I think that has been lived with Rudy, it has been lived with Bruno, and we try to do it ourselves, right?
You know, I always say when they stop breaking my chops, there's something wrong. And we constantly have that levity in the crazy, so you have to dig in and be professional and do your job, but you want that levity. So it makes it a nice place to go, and it makes people want to walk through fire for you. It really does when you make the environment in such friendly environments.
Absolutely. I mean,
Volker mentioned that some of the innovation comes, of course it comes from the market, but how do you do it of course you listen to the market, but I mean, everybody say they do that, but you do it, right?
Yes, no, I said it at a press conference earlier this morning, and he said, for 20 years ago when we started, it was knocked down, get up, and that hurt, that was no good. But we did 10 years of learning, and a lot of costs associated with that, but Rudy was dedicated to this core market, the digital finishing market. And all of that learning, all that trial by fire generated, Inkjet in 08 was a big win for us because of the high speed needs, but it generated what we have here today. It generated the portfolio we have, which more than 50% of our turnover is digitally finishing in North America. And it comes from just sheer determination and grit and never give up attitudes.
When we met at your headquarters, we also spoke about that digital transformation, and you see it everywhere with Müller Martini, is that you're basically developing and you have not rested on your laurels. You're basically converted from being you're still very important in the offset world, and analog world, but you have at the same time been able to develop underneath. I would say that when you look at the variobinder, sometimes it even looks like that it was a little bit beyond time, basically, right? Because I mean, now with the high-speed inkjet devices, you need that kind of thing. But when you released it, maybe the machines were not as good and not as fast at the time for the printing side.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, that's true. Absolutely, that's very true. Whatever we do on the product side, we said we would not distinguish between if that machine was to be used in a conventional environment or in a digital environment by the means of we established a platform that would serve both markets. With other words, we don't care if that machine would particularly go into a digital environment or into a conventional.
So does that, sorry to interrupt, so does that mean that all the equipment that you do can fit different types of environment, or is it specific digital line, specific analog line, or?
It is true. It can go into both worlds, as I said. If you think of our latest development, the Antero, that is a platform. It runs 2,000 books per hour in a pure digital book of one, or 4,000 in a conventional. And you can attach a gathering line to it. In times where it becomes a little bit more uncertain, that is extremely important.
And one thing I may add, one thing more.
Yeah, sure.
When we looked at this, that 20-year journey of getting beat up a little bit, we always said we want to bring commercial quality finishing to the digital market. We wanted to maintain that because of what we've been known for and our legacy, and that has never wavered from that. Our stitchers are the same stitcher for digital offset. Some of our binders, same binder, digital offset. So you get the same quality, it's the same machine. So it's important.
The reason I'm smiling at this is so funny, because the last time we met in person was just after Sofing, and we met at Hungry Innovation
Exactly.
Days, right? And I remember you are really brilliant. I think is he head of your demo experience center, Christoph Müller. Right?
Yes.
Great guy.
I mean, I thought that one of the books you were presenting was with the wrong grain direction, and he was like, "Can't be true. You cannot have made a book with wrong grain direction, right?" And then I thought it was like, it was not a big deal. I just thought it was And then he was like chasing me the rest of the innovation. They said, "No, we have now checked it. It's the gluing, or it is." I mean, so it was just like, so the passion for the product. I mean, it was just like freaking awesome, to be honest. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I really like the way you do it. I also saw some of your online presentations, the American one, where also Christoph was participating. And I don't know if you know it, but I actually reviewed it and I gave it 4 stars. So it was.
And I want to thank you for the first review. You gave us some good pointers.
Yeah, absolutely.
We pivoted. Thank you. And I think the 4 stars makes me feel great that we stepped up a little bit. So thank you for that.
I didn't even know you saw it, but
I did see the email. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, we took that for granted, and we came together and tried to take that feedback and change it to the better.
Fantastic.
So very much appreciated.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, super. So, Printing United, a lot of traffic, a lot of potential orders, and that's great. Have you had time to go and check out the competition as well? Oh,
You're not.
I
You
mean,
were busy.
I never left the blue carpet. It just was like
so many
maybe for.
customers all the time.
Oh, no, I got 3 booths away, but I ran into 6 customers on the way. Had to come back. So unfortunately,
So
not
you didn't
much.
have
Not
time for
much.
that. What about you, Volker?
Just a little, to be
bit,
honest.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, the sentiment is so great at this point in time. We are all pleased with that.
Yeah.
I talked to my guys here and I said, actually, the Europeans should come to here because the atmosphere and the sentiment is so positive. In my home country, people intend to be a little bit more pessimistic sometimes. So that's why I'm so thrilled being here, because the temper and as I said, the atmosphere is really great.
It's funny you mentioned that, because I spoke to somebody earlier today where we spoke about that part of the, let's say, American mentality is that I think you're in general more risk willing, right? So you see something
100%.
that is, oh, this is interesting, this is cool, I can use it, right? Then you buy it, right? And then sometimes you are right, sometimes you're wrong, but I mean, with your equipment and the way that you do things, I take that if I order something, you probably ask me my needs. So even though I'm ready to buy right away, you will start to evaluate my needs to get me the right solution anyway, right?
Yeah, we do what I call whiteboard analysis. It's just an expression I use. Get a clean whiteboard. We sit together, we go through your challenges and opportunities, and then we build a solution around that whiteboard analysis. And that's not words, that's exactly what we do. And sometimes we won't even quote the technology till we have a layout, so we truly understand, rather than chasing our tail. And it really has been a very successful way to, and also a very efficient way to do business in this changing environment.
Is that how you do it in Switzerland as well?
Yes,
Or- okay.
that applies for the entire organization.
Yeah. I mean, so you're good at learning from each other and take up the
Yes.
good ideas and use that.
Sure.
basically, right?
We have a very close cooperation amongst the regions.
Yes.
Hector, who runs our Latin America region, is also here. We do have constant exchange amongst the regional directors. We are not as large as, I don't know, Heidelberg or so. That makes communication so much easier.
Yeah.
And we have that camaraderie, that bantering between the little competitive between us.
No
It's a
way.
lot of fun.
No
a lot
way.
of fun.
No way.
It's a lot of fun.
I can almost not believe it. Okay.
He's Mr. 40%, you know.
Oh boy.
Always
Here
40,
we go.
40% ahead or 40% behind.
I say ahead. I don't know what other people say.
40% contribution, I
Yeah,
would say.
exactly.
Okay. But that's a
Well,
good
we'll
one
change
as well.
that. We are currently in the budgeting process.
Yeah, he wants to go to 48.
48.
Okay. So talk about the projects. How do you see the future?
Well, I mean, we are extremely bullish with this book solution that we have that we just recently showcased in the headquarters. I think that's a major step towards a lights out factory. We do have that machine or that solution sitting with a French client, and he runs that machine with or that solution with one person. You know, web in, book out. That's just amazing. And on top, we have a very neat workflow.
You just need like one long conveyor directly to the bookshelf, right? Or
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
Pretty
library.
much. Right to the bookstore.
So we can avoid all the UPS and distribution with just
Yeah.
directly to the end customer, right?
Drones.
Yeah, drones. Yeah. Okay.
No, and I because you ask, of course, at the beginning of the year, we were a little bit more uncertain with the surrounding interest rates, supply chain disruption. Exactly, recessions, and
Much less
then
before,
the war in Russia or in Ukraine. But that seemed to change for the better.
Yeah, it's funny, or not funny, it's actually sad, but it seems that we as humans are, again, very good at adapting to the new realities, right? I mean, we have this unfortunate situation in Israel, the Ukraine situation. And now, you know, when you have the fear of recession and you have like shouted that for a long time, you say, well, if it comes, right?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
And we see customers saying that. They got to invest. They can't wait.
precisely.
They got to stay in front of it because if it does happen, they'll be even stronger when it comes out.
Well, guys, super nice meeting you, and thank you very
Thanks
much
a
for the
lot.
time here on Bonjour. So, thank you, Andy.
Thank you so much, Morten. Thanks for the time, buddy.
Thank you.